Welcome back to part 3 of the Webapp tutorial, and this is the third part of it, where I'm gonna create a MySql database on Beanstalk, and that's pretty easy. So I will go to my environment, newly created environment on the Elastic Beanstalk, and if I go to the dashboard, you can check that it's up and running. And then I say configuration. If you pick that menu, then you can see down here it says the data tier, and you have not a database yet, but you can create a new relational database on Amazon. So that's what we're gonna choose to do. And I just want to say this is only for test purposes. So I want it to be a MySql server engine version. This is okay. Instant class T2 micro, which is a free instance. So this database is going to run on its own instance. The master username, let's just call it root. The master password, I'm going to call test123. Deletion policy, so when I want to delete this particular instance here, then do you want Amazon to create a snapshot? I'm not sure whether it's free or not. It might cost you money to create a snapshot, but I'll just say when I choose to delete my instance of this database, it should just be deleted forever. Then in terms of availability, it should just be available in one availability zone. So we don't want to spread it all over the world. It's just for test purposes. So we're not really worried about uptime. So then I'm going to say apply. So my password wasn't really okay, so I have to go back here. So I didn't succeed. I want to go back to configuration. I have to create all over again. So the engine MySql root. So let's call it Webapp 2017. Delete single availability zone, apply. So that's it. So now Elastic Beanstalk is updating your environment. So now we'll soon have added a database. So now the environment has been updated, and the database should be ready. So let's have a look at the configuration. I go to the RDS. So now there's an endpoint, and it's using port 3306 as it usually does. So let's have a look. So if I click on the endpoint, then we go to the database dashboard, and I can see my if I have a look here, you can change between these, and here you can see it's a MySql. This is the name of the instance of the database, and this is the EC2 server it's running on, and this is my virtual private cloud ID. And if I have a look here, there's a lot of different data that you can have here. You can see that the username is root that I created, and the password I used was Webapp 2017. I'm gonna use that later on. So I think this is more or less it. So I could actually now move into my SQL workbench that I use as my database MySql client, and if I click the plus sign, I could make my AWS database here, RDS, and the host name, I can grab the host name. So the host name is simply my endpoint here. So if I copy this, I can just copy it into the host. I can remove the port because it's here. Username root, and my password was Webapp 2017. Okay, and I haven't created a default schema yet. I will do that later. I could test the connection. So this test was successful, but actually I had a little bit of trouble connecting, and the problem was that the password that I typed in, there was something wrong with it. But now I can actually say close, and if I click my instance here, this is my database on the Amazon, and it's just empty. So now I need to, in the next tutorial, I will transfer the local database to this cloud database. And in terms of problems with the password, I actually went in here to my database, and then I went to my instance, and then I said modify, and then I chose to modify my instance, and I created a master password. So I retyped the Webapp 2017 as my master password, and then I said apply immediately, and then continue, and then it all worked. So so now I actually have this database here running on the Amazon Web Services.